A stone's throw from where I grew up is the Square Mile, London's financial district. They say the streets are paved with gold, and that isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. How you doing?
London, one of the busiest cities in the world. The clamor of modern life continues above, but far below the streets, below the hustle, lies a hidden treasure of unparalleled wealth, the gold vaults of the Bank of England. To most people, the Bank of England is a familiar part of the city's skyline. A towering structure with a grandiose facade that represents financial stability and centuries of history. But few know what lies beneath, deep underground, in vaults protected by layers upon layers of security. We're talking about a hidden vault, where over 400,000 bars of pure gold rest, stacked neatly on shelves in a subterranean labyrinth that only a handful of people have ever had the privilege to see in person. Imagine it, a vault so secure, its entrance is guarded by reinforced doors weighing as much as 2 elephants stacked on top of each other. Each door is thicker than a man is tall, and the gold itself. It stretches far beyond your wildest imagination. It's enough gold to cover 30 football fields if laid side by side. Today, we're taking you inside the gold vaults of the Bank of England, a place where history and wealth intertwine, and where gold isn't just gold, it's the financial bedrock of entire nations. To better build a foundation for this documentary, let's look at a brief history of gold at the Bank of England. The story of the gold vault starts over 300 years ago. The Bank of England was founded in 1694, during a time when England was embroiled in conflicts across Europe. The country needed funds, and quickly. So, the bank was established to act as a source of finance for the English government, and over time, it became the custodian of the country's gold. Back then, gold wasn't just a valuable commodity, it was currency. Coins were made from gold, and countries used it to back their money. The more gold a nation had, the more powerful it was. Nations fought wars over gold, and empires were built on it. Over the centuries, the Bank of England became the guardian of not only Britain's gold but also that of foreign governments, institutions, and central banks. As the British Empire expanded, so did the vaults, which were deepened and reinforced to protect the growing wealth. By the 20th century, the Bank of England's gold vaults were among the most secure in the world. But with great wealth comes great responsibility, and guarding this treasure became a top priority. The gold bars, beyond wealth, a symbol of stability. Let's talk about the gold itself. Gold has been the measure of wealth for millennia. But what does 400,000 gold bars actually mean? Each gold bar weighs around 12.4 kilograms, or about 27 pounds. In today's terms, one bar is worth roughly $600,000. Now multiply that by hundreds of thousands of bars. You're looking at a vault that contains tens of billions of dollars worth of gold. Each bar has its own unique serial number and stamp, identifying where it was mined, refined, and cast. These bars don't just sit there gathering dust, they move. The gold vaults of the Bank of England are a hub of international financial activity. Countries buy, sell, and trade gold, and the vaults are where it's stored. The gold moves from shelf to shelf as countries and banks settle their debts or rebalance their reserves. But what makes gold so special? Why has it, above all other materials, stood the test of time as the ultimate symbol of wealth? Part of it is its scarcity. Gold is rare, much rarer than most people realize. The total amount of gold ever mined throughout history would fit into 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's it. The Bank of England holds a significant portion of the world's gold. But beyond its value, gold represents something deeper, security. In times of financial instability, when currencies fluctuate and stock markets crash, gold remains solid. It's a safeguard, a universal currency that transcends borders, governments, and political systems. Security measures, protecting the wealth of nations. Let's move to the security, because where there's gold, there's always the need for protection. The gold vaults at the Bank of England are considered one of the most secure places in the world, on par with places like Fort Knox in the United States. When you imagine a bank vault, you might picture large metal doors, surveillance cameras, and guards. The Bank of England's vaults go far beyond that. First, there's the sheer depth of the vaults. They're located far beneath the city, in the bowels of London. To get there, you'd have to descend hundreds of feet, deep enough that you could stack nearly 10 Empire State Buildings end to end before reaching the vault level. Next, there's the door. The vaults are protected by doors that are not just thick, they're impenetrable. These massive, multi-ton doors are made of layers of reinforced steel. Behind the doors, security measures include cutting-edge biometric scanners. To gain access, you need to pass through multiple layers of checks, each more stringent than the last. Even if someone were able to breach the first layers of security, they would still face the daunting task of cracking the vault itself. The vault is equipped with a lock so advanced that it would take weeks, even with the latest technology, to break through. The Bank of England also employs a team of security experts, many of whom are ex-military, trained in protecting the vault and its contents. The vault is also monitored 24/7 by an extensive network of surveillance cameras and motion sensors, which are so sensitive they can detect even the faintest of movements. There are also contingency plans in place, in case of an emergency. In the event of a threat, the vault can be completely sealed off, isolated from the rest of the bank. Even the air vents can be closed off, making the vault nearly impossible to access. It's worth noting that this level of security isn't just for show. Over the years, there have been numerous attempts to break into the vault, but none have succeeded. The gold market and its global influence. The gold stored in the Bank of England isn't just sitting idle. It plays a crucial role in the global economy. Gold is one of the most important assets that central banks hold, and the Bank of England's gold vaults serve as a hub for the global gold market. Countries use gold to back their currencies and to settle debts with other nations. For centuries, gold has been a universal store of value. Unlike paper currencies, which can be printed and devalued, gold is finite. Its scarcity makes it a stable asset, one that countries can rely on in times of crisis. The Bank of England serves as the custodian for gold owned by other central banks and governments. In fact, only about a third of the gold in the vaults belongs to the United Kingdom. The rest is held on behalf of other nations and international organizations. This gold moves frequently, as countries buy, sell, and trade it on the international market. But why do countries continue to hold gold in the 21st century? After all, we live in a digital age where money is often little more than numbers on a screen. The answer lies in gold's unique properties. Gold is not subject to the same risks as other assets. It can't be hacked, deleted, or destroyed. It's immune to inflation, unlike paper currencies. And in times of geopolitical instability, gold is a refuge, something tangible that countries can rely on. A rare glimpse inside the vaults. Now, let's take a step inside the vaults themselves. The vaults are not like any ordinary room. They are massive, sprawling chambers filled with row after row of shelves. Each shelf holds stacks of gold bars, neatly arranged and labeled. As you walk down the aisles, the first thing you notice is the weight of the air. It's cool and dry, with a metallic tang that hangs heavy. The silence is deafening. Every footstep echoes in the stillness, as though the very air is imbued with the weight of the wealth that surrounds you. The shelves stretch as far as the eye can see, and each one is laden with gold. The bars gleam dully under the artificial lights, their surfaces smooth and unblemished. It's a surreal experience, walking through the vaults. You're surrounded by more wealth than most people will ever see in their entire lives. Yet the atmosphere is almost reverent. This isn't just a vault, it's a shrine to the world's financial security. Most people will never get the chance to see these vaults in person. The Bank of England guards its secrets closely, and only a select few are allowed inside. Even fewer are allowed to touch the gold itself. But for those who do get the chance, it's an experience they will never forget. The enduring power of gold. In a world that's constantly changing, where technology is advancing at breakneck speeds, and economies rise and fall with the push of a button, gold remains a constant. It has been a symbol of wealth and power for thousands of years, and it shows no signs of losing its importance. As long as nations need stability, as long as people seek security, gold will continue to play a crucial role in the global economy. And the gold vaults of the Bank of England will continue to stand as a testament to that enduring power. Watch our next video, Inside Fort Knox, America's most secure vault. Focusing on the myths, legends, and facts surrounding the security of America's gold.